You ready to go? Go, buddy. This has got to be one of the coolest things I've seen here yet.
Hello, my name is Grant, and I'm trying to live forever. I lost 300 pounds using the gastric bypass, and I've maintained that weight loss over the last 16 years, and I'm trying to help you do the same thing. Today, we're going to talk about the differences between the gastric bypass and the sleeve. And this is just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical training. This is just watching and learning and reading and studying over the last 16 years of the pros and cons of both. And me having had the gastric bypass, and for my opinion, what the differences are and how this might help. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be hunger. When I had mine done, they had figured out that when you have the gastric bypass, it cuts the connection between your stomach and your brain to the thing that triggers hunger. Triggers the actual hunger feeling in your stomach and triggers the brain. This is true. I haven't had a hunger pain since I've had the surgery, and it's been 16 years. I even went on a 36-hour fast a couple of years ago for a medical procedure and never felt the hunger pain. I had nothing but water for 36 hours and not one single groan or pain for hunger. So the backside of that is, for the sleeve, is that there is documentation that a small percentage of the patients that have it done still end up having hunger pains. Not a mental, what you think in your brain hunger pain, but an actual hunger pain. So, gastric bypass, no hunger pains. Sleeve, a slight percentage, you might have some. Acid reflux. With the sleeve, you're going to have acid reflux. That's a large percentage of you that are going to have it or have had it are going to have acid reflux. The reason is this, is that with a regular stomach, you have some room to move. You have a stomach pout. You have a large stomach, the size of, some of you size of a football, some of you the size of a tennis ball, but you still have a little bit of room to move. So if you put food into your stomach, the acid that's already there, there's room for it. You have a sleeve, you're reducing your stomach pouch to a little bit larger than that thumb. Okay, but it's still producing acid. So once you put food in that pouch, because it doesn't filter through, your stomach is still mechanically a stomach. You have an esophagus, you have a pouch where the food goes in, and you have a small muscle on the bottom of that holds that in place until the stomach releases it to the small intestine. So you have a holding spot that's a very small one with acid in it. So if you put food in there, where's that acid going to go? Right up the esophagus for reflux. It's just part of it. When you first get it done for a long period, you don't have any wiggle room in there. There's no expansion that's happened. So that's where the acid reflux comes from. Now with a gastric bypass, there isn't any acid produced. Your stomach pouch doesn't have any acid in it. So the chances of you having reflux are almost zero. Now, having dumping or regurgitation from your pouch, that's common. But the difference is there's no acid involved. You don't have the reflux. That nasty taste isn't involved. Now, this is going to sound gross, but what it tastes like when it goes in, if your stomach doesn't like it and sends it back, that's what it tastes like coming back up. It's the food you just ate. Same flavor. There's no acid involved. So when it comes to reflux, I got to go with the gastric bypass. Okay, this is the touchy one. This is the one people aren't going to want to hear. If you're 100 pounds or less needed of weight loss, it's my opinion, just my opinion. I have no medical training, just my opinion. The sleeve is what you need if you don't have a lot of weight to lose. If you have over 100 pounds to lose, I would say, my opinion, get the gastric bypass, the ROW gastric bypass. It has the numbers behind it. If you have a large amount of weight to lose and you're trying to save your life and get it off of you, the gastric bypass is the way to go, because in the long run, it has the numbers on its side for the regain on the backside. The gastric bypass has better numbers long term than the sleeve. So if you're just trying to get a smaller amount off, if you're right on the limit of the BMI, get the sleeve. If you're way over the BMI, get the gastric bypass. That's just my opinion. Okay, you don't have to take it with a grain of salt, just my opinion. But the paperwork and the studies show the bypass as having a better result long term for large amounts of weight. Okay, next thing, alcohol. Alcohol is kind of a funny one because I'm having another video about it coming out, or will have already been out. But alcohol is a funny one because you still have you have the basic mechanics of a regular stomach when you've had the sleeve. So it goes in there, it holds a little bit, and then the stomach releases it whenever it deems it necessary after it does its thing. Gastric bypass, on the other hand, is just like a funnel. It goes right through your pouch into your small intestine and your bloodstream. So with alcohol, you got to be a little careful. Now, the backside of that one is liquids. Water intake is a lot easier, I feel, with the gastric bypass because it does act like a funnel. You don't have a small muscle on the bottom of your stomach holding things in place, waiting for the stomach to release. It's basically just straight through a filter, or the funnel straight through your esophagus, through your pouch, into your small intestine, and then into your bloodstream or into your system. So water is more easily done and tolerated with the gastric bypass, where all I hear online is people having issues getting their water intake in, their daily intake in, because of that pouch having the basic mechanics again of a stomach, but you have a very, very, very small stomach. So for you to ingest, it sit in your stomach and get released by your stomach, that's time consuming, and that can be a hindrance when it comes to water intake and liquids. But it can also be, if you're drinking, it can be troublesome because you'll get hammered a lot faster than what you're wanting to. Okay, the next one is weight regain. Again, this is another one that the gastric bypass has the numbers on its side. Long term, it ends up being better long term than the sleeve does. The regain numbers are a little bit worse with the sleeve. The gastric has a better long-term viability when it comes to maintaining the weight loss. So the numbers are on the gastric bypass favor on that end. So just to recap on my list: hunger, bypass; sleeve, acid reflux, bypass; sleeve, lots to lose, bypass; sleeve is pretty good, but bypass is better long term. Alcohol, bypass; sleeve. Okay, weight regain, bypass; sleeve. Okay, but sleeve is still good. Anything to get you, I just want you to have a better life. So whatever you choose will help. It's just by the numbers. It's just the numbers. Long term, they have it all documented now. These are just how they're ending up. So this is just my opinion, just from me, because I want to see you do good. This is just my opinion. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not trained, but this is what I've studied over the years just how it works out. Water, bypass, sleeve. Okay, so it's going to be difficult getting your water and your calories in. It is. And so there it is. That's my opinion. There isn't anything else to say about this. It's just they're both great. I want to see you do good. I want to see everybody be victorious in this fight over being big. But you have to weigh everything in, and nothing is easy. Even though I went through this list, none of this stuff is easy because it's going to be hard. But I believe in you. I really, really hope everybody does well. And I want everyone to have a great day. Because again, a great day today could be a better day tomorrow. Y'all be good.